Well, welcome back. It's a beautiful day in northwestern Ohio. Blue skies, pretty much. No snow. Today's March 5th, I believe. So let me show you what I've been doing in the shop. Got back from a snowmobiling trip middle of February, and had a few issues with the Classic, so we got her up on the jack and went through. I was leaking a lot of chain case fluid, and so there's a seal back in behind here that I replaced, but it's quite involved. Take this whole apparatus off the top here. This is where your brake pads are at, and so I put new pads in while I was doing it. Anyway, changed filters. Yeah, I just kept the old bearing. The bearings were good, and so that I cleaned both carbs and synchronized them, and just went through a bunch of things. Bought a few new items, new used items. I got some new Hyfax to put on the bottom, and I also ruined a belt while I was up there, so I got a new belt to go on. But anyway, what this video is going to be about is, you can see my skins are hanging down. I had a lot of problems again this year with darting, and it's when you're going down a trail and your sled just wants to keep doing this all the time, and that wears on your shoulders and back pretty good. And I've tried many different things to try to alleviate it, put more pressure on the skis, less pressure on the skis. I did find out while I was up there that I had this bushing in here. There's a couple bushings were just a little bit on the worn side, so I replaced those. Also, the steering down here the bolt was just a smidgen loose, so I tightened that up, and that really firmed up my skis a lot. I mean, to the point that you just touch the steering wheel and they turn. Now there's no slop in them whatsoever, so that will help tremendously. But what I am doing is, they've got some wear bars out there that are called Doolies, and Woody's makes them, but they're ungodly expensive. They're like $150 a piece, and or I don't know, maybe it's $150 for a pair, but whatever, they're still expensive. Of course, they're carbides and everything. I had carbides, a single carbide on those skis, and which were okay, but it would catch the grooves that other sleds had made on the trail, and it causes you to follow their trail, and so it's just hard to keep it straight. So anyway, I knew these Doolies were out there, so what I did is I thought, I'm not spending that kind of money. I have a welder, and so I took a piece of 1-inch flat steel. It's probably 1/8 inch, and I took my old carbide off, which is right here, and I had another set of just regular wear rods, but it's called a hard bar. It's got a welded a weld that goes down the middle to make them a little bit harder. So I took those, I cut them down, and I welded them on this piece of flat steel, and then I cut the studs off of the wear bar, welded those on, and the front of the wear bar, the carbide wear bar, when I cut it off, then I welded it right in the middle. Now you can see this one, I'm just in the process of cleaning this one up. This is how it looks before you take and clean up the edges here and the welds a little bit, and then I will have to bend it a little bit too. You can see the difference in the bends on them. They're a little bit off. But anyway, clean up these welds on this one. Make sure it isn't real hot. And trying, I don't want to burn my hands. And but anyway, you can see I have 2 bars down the middle. And what this will do, instead of a single carbide, you got that in the sun there, I think, getting a reflection. Hard to do that. But anyway, what it'll do is, let me see if I can zoom in here without that sun. Get the right spot. There we go. And what it will do is you will not have that single carbide, but you'll have 2, and as a result, you will be making your own path. And then the snow will go right down through the middle here, and you'll have it be like two wear rods in the front skis. So we're going to see how this works. Wasn't real hard to do. If you have a welder, you get some wear bars. I have the old carbide wear bar right here, and those carbides are just about gone, as you can see. But hey, it still had carbides in it, so I kept it and put that on there. But we're going to see how this works. Of course, I'm going to have to wait all summer before I get back at it, because the snow's melting already up there, and I'm not planning any more trips for snowmobiling. So anyway, that's what I did, and it wasn't difficult, doesn't take much time, and I will probably come back with a follow-up video next year after I make a trip up there, and we're going to see how this thing works. But it should do the job pretty good, and I'm hoping that boy will take away that darting, because that just really wears and tears on your shoulders. So, but anyway, the old 96 Classic is getting an overhaul, and we're going to put that away as soon as we get it done. We're going to throw it up in the trailer with my Indy Trail. And yes, I did sell my 74 Custom 2. It was interesting. The individual that purchased it was from Bozeman, Montana. And they sent a driver out here. It was a business that bought it. And the fellow that bought it, he named his company after the Custom 2 snowmobile. When he was first starting his business, his father had one, and so he just used that name. Anyway, that was why he wanted my sled. So I did sell it. So I am 1 snowmobile shorter than I was before, which is good. I have the Indy Trail in there that I have for sale, but I haven't any bites on that, and I believe next winter this one is going to go. This is the Sidewinder, and I hate to get rid of it, but I took it up to Michigan this year to a show, and I was not very happy with the show. It's very boring if you're by yourself, and so I did a ride and ran out of gas coming back, and it was quite a fiasco there, but we got back, and sled ran great other than running out of gas. But I believe I'm going to thin out everything, and I have still my 1973 Columbia up here that needs going through. That was the first sled I ever owned, and I'm going to probably keep that one. I'm going to keep this Classic, and then I'm thinking maybe in a year or two buying a 2006 Polaris Classic 700. It's a 2-stroke, and then I'll have this sled and that one, and I'll take both of those up to Michigan with me, as this one will be my backup. So that's a plan. But anyway, I'm rambling now, so thanks for watching and subscribing. Our little kitty with a broken leg. Her leg's all healed up, but it doesn't work. So she gets around fine on 3. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.